Okay, so as you can see, got a couple wires hooked up to the battery, and that's what's powering this right now. Because these things use 12 volts, just like in your car, and that's a 12-volt battery. Well, a little bit, yeah, it's 12 volts. But anyways, so for a while it wouldn't work, and I couldn't figure out why. Well, these little fucking alligator clip wires things. These things are they're very finicky. The way they're connected, they're kind of not a solid connection. It's fucking stupid. They're cheap. They're cheap. These things are cheap, so it's terrible design. So the slightest wire movement causes them to disconnect or whatever. So I have a few of them lying around, luckily. Um, and I finally got so the connection. But yeah, I finally got to turn on. So um, kind of hard to see, but so let's see. So there's this ring, the negative, right there, and it's the red is hooked up to the negative, or sorry, that's positive. So yeah, so positive wire going to the positive where the spring is, and then the yellow is for negative, and that's the thing in the center, the slit. It looks like it's touching it, but it's not. But that thing that used to go in there is this piece. So that little notch right there slides into the slot on this. It's kind of hard to see, but yeah, next to the tip of the alligator clip, that slot goes in there. Thing fucking melted out, and then, but yeah, so freaking power's on, man. I'm excited, really excited. So everything works good. Everything works good. So didn't blow it out. So I just gotta reassemble it and make some modifications. I'm probably gonna end up having it make it look like kind of like this. This is another one of those car charger things, you know. Of course, it's a bit different, but yeah. So I soldered wires onto the end of it, and then I have that plug on there so I can plug it into other stuff, like the battery, for instance. And then yeah, that's how this one's designed. So you got the coil right there, the coil of wire, which is called an inductor, and there's an inductor on here. It's that tube on the side. That's the inductor. So it's kind of like the same version of this, except maybe thinner. And then you got the capacitor, that tube right there, and then another capacitor right there. And this one also has two capacitors, just a different design. But the inductor, this is a big inductor, and so I mean, it's pretty. I think this one is also more expensive too. You know, smaller inductors. Ones that have smaller inductors tend to be cheaper. I got it at CVS, and so it kind of helps keep the current, or no, rather the voltage up. Or depends on what it does. I mean, some of them are designed to slow the inrush of current. Like, if it doesn't want to, or the voltage rather, it slows it down. So that way, you don't, like, let's say 5 volts comes out of here, and you put 12 volts, and you don't want 12 volts immediately just to rush through, because whatever's connected to is going to blow up. So that's one way of kind of lowering the basically it puts the brakes on it and it kind of slows it down or whatever, and says, hey, whoa, too much, calm down, calm down. It's what's called the passive component, so it doesn't do anything, but what it does is it builds up a magnetic field, like when you have magnets, it kind of does the same thing with this, and that slows the flow of current. It slows the flow of current, and so it kind of helps it out. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited, so that works. I just need to kind of make it look like this, and I don't know if you kind of see, but there's that spring right there. I mean, look at that fucking bullshit. I mean, look, it's like another stupid design. As you can see, it's spring goes all the way close to that thing. So if I were to shove that in somewhere and then bend that thing upward, it would touch that and do the same fucking shit. It's a fucking stupid design, and it's really annoying. So probably what I'm gonna do is, yeah, I couldn't. Last time I think I put a shrink tubing on there, and then I heated it up, and then it shrinks around us that way it doesn't. So that way there's nothing to worry about. It's not gonna touch anything. I couldn't get it to the end of it though, because it has to connect to the board somewhere. The spring does. So I couldn't slide the shrink tubing all the way. I can only slide it up to that point. And kind of same thing with this. Maybe with the modifications I make, I can probably actually, I can. I think I can. Yeah, I'll be able to. So I'm gonna put shrink wrap tubing. Where's my finger? Straight down, like on there, and then well, first I'm gonna solder a wire to it, and the wire is gonna be coming out here, and then I'm gonna put shrink wrap tubing on it like that, so that way if it pushes anything, it can't short out. And then that's all I need basically is just that. So if that doesn't short out, I'm fine. So I can either do it through that, or I can even put shrink wrap tubing on this and just reconnect this and reassemble the whole thing, and then make it so it's not gonna short ever again. So, but yeah, I'm excited. So that's that. And so there's two ports on here. One's like a 1.2 amp, and then the other one's a 2 amp. So I'm gonna check the 2 amp and see how that goes. So I'm gonna connect that and just make sure that port also works too. It's not fried. Okay, good. So yeah, so both of them work. So I'm excited. So nothing got fried. All works. LED light comes on. Everything's perfect. So, and then this right here is just a little circuit board thing that is using to kind of gauge whether the power is working or not, where the issue was. And so, yeah. So that little thing is battery power goes there to there, and then USB port right there, and then I made a cool little double male USB port on the end of it, USB A. So there's one right there, and then one right there. It's like soldered one onto. Oh, what the fuck is it? Where is it? God damn it! I soldered one onto that end of the wire, and that one already had one on it. So, it used to have like a micro USB. Used to have a micro USB on the other side of it. Damn it! Shit. Yeah, I used to have a micro USB, so they're really small ones. So I cut that off and put a full size USB, so that way I can kind of do the double action, so that way that thing can power this, because this one has a USB input for power. So, and they don't come with it anything like that. So I just decided to make my own. So, fuck yeah, I'm excited, dude. I am excited. I got shit I can work on.